Fantastic, insightful, and inspirational. What we want is to encourage the young female to believe in themselves. We want to encourage a future where women stand up to be counted. We also want to stand for a future where women can take themselves out of poverty. It only takes an empowered woman to actually empower yet another. And so I believe that this begins a certain value chain. It creates a certain understanding. It creates a certain opportunity. You know, for our part as government, I believe that President Mahama has put in place every good policy to enable the young Ghanaian woman or man thrive in entrepreneurship. It is why I spoke about the Big Push agenda. I spoke about the National Enterprise Project. I spoke about the Coders for Women project. I spoke about the STEM project. I spoke about also the conditions of a digital economy and why President Mahama believes that this is something that we must all take very, very seriously. I also spoke about the Women's Development Bank, which will be led by Her Excellency, the Vice President, Professor Naana Jane Opoku-Agyemang. It is actually a bank that will be serving groups and associations such as this one that we are launching today. So I look forward to a more empowered Ghanaian female. I look forward to a more independent Ghanaian female. I also look forward to a better Ghanaian entrepreneur. And I'm looking forward to my association with this fantastic group of young women in business.
How is the government ensuring rural and underserved women entrepreneurs? How is it ensuring that they are included in the national entrepreneurship strategy?
You know, as a party, the National Democratic Congress, I'm sure you do know, is actually a grassroots political party. I believe that for us, it starts from the bottom up. It is why you realize that most of our youth policies are centered across the country. In terms of agriculture, for example, the agric centers will actually be centered largely in rural communities. The rural irrigation projects will actually be established in rural communities. You'll also notice also that when you look around you, the CHIPS compounds, the health initiatives are mostly also centered in rural communities. If you look at the mid-year review budget, it speaks largely to rural roads, because we also want to facilitate trade in our rural communities and ease of access to better markets. There is also a project now to construct a market in Aflao from a grant from the Japanese government. This will also set up a modern market in Aflao, which is a huge industrial area. Remember that in the central region, one of the major markets there was actually constructed in the Mills Mahama administration. So for us, the rural community, the rural Ghanaian, the rural entrepreneur is actually one of our major focuses. And this morning when I spoke, you heard me tell them that I expect that all of them in this room will reach out to rural communities. There are many young women whom I mentor who are in agric. They operate mostly in rural communities and they are doing very, very well. And one thing I would say for a woman is that when you lend to a woman, know that she will repay you fully and even more. When you encourage a woman, know that she will be encouraged to do it better. When you inspire a woman, know that you inspire many other women and you build a whole village. You know, it takes a city, it takes a village, it takes a good government to create an enabling environment for women. And you can see from the Vice President right down, it tells you one thing. President Mahama is committed to the cause and advancement of women here in Ghana. Thank you.